you can tell from my last video, I went to Ireland, and one of my main goals for going to Ireland was to buy books, because that's what I care about. So I made it my goal to go to as many bookstores as I possibly could while I was in Ireland. I researched a bunch. I didn't get to go to all of them I wanted to. I found some that I didn't originally plan to go to. But overall, I had to go count them again, I forgot, 12 books. What did you buy? Asked literally no one. Well, I'm gonna tell you anyway. First off, as you saw, I went and saw the Book of Kells. And they did in fact sell full copies of the Book of Kells. I did not get to buy one because it was 85 euros. Dang it. But instead, I got the Book of Kells official guide, which goes over the most important parts, and the long room. Look, the long room's in there, otherwise known as my new favorite place on the planet. But it goes into detail about sections of the book and all the artistry and illumination. At least I have this. But the very first book I bought in Ireland was Tangleweed Brine by Deirdre Sullivan. And I got this when we stopped in Tullamore to go visit Tullamore Dew, which is a whiskey place that my dad wanted to go to when we went on the tour. But while we were walking around, found kind of a stationery store that also had books in it, which I'm suddenly forgetting the name of, but here's the place. So I did my first bookstore. It's Robin's. It was what I found on Google. So this is a collection of retellings of classic fairy tales. And that's all I know about it. It looked pretty, and I wanted it, so there. And then we were in Galway, and we went to Bell Book and Candle, but unfortunately, we went there right as they were closing, and I couldn't get anything, and I was really sad. Bell Book and Candle is a used bookstore, and it was really close to our Airbnb, and I really wanted to buy something, but I did not have enough time to peruse, so unfortunately, I didn't collect on that one. But also in Galway was Charlie Byrne's, which is apparently like the #1 bookstore in Galway, possibly Ireland, I can't remember. But everywhere I went after I had a bag full of books, everyone would be like, you went to Charlie Byrne's. And they tell me how great of a bookstore it was. But to make up for my loss at Bell Book and Candle, I bought 3 books. So the first one I picked out was The Surface Breaks by Louise O'Neill. This is obviously a retelling of The Little Mermaid. I guess I was on a retelling binge. But it's so pretty, look at it. And you guys are gonna figure out, I have a certain aesthetic that I go for in books. Pretty quickly. Here's Tangleweed Brine again. Here's The Surface Breaks. And then just keep that image in your head as we go along. The next book I got was The Silence of Girls by Pat Barker. And this deals with the story of Troy. Dealing with girls, particularly one whose name is Briseis. While Helen was kidnapped by the Trojans, Briseis was kidnapped by the Greeks and forced to be bed slave to Achilles. And finally we have The Poison Garden by Sarah Singleton. So this one deals with a guy named Thomas who inherits a poison garden from his grandmother. And poison gardens are like a real thing, and they have intrigued me for years, and I really want to go to one. So I'll settle for reading about one. And then we finally get to Dublin, where I went to 5 different bookstores. The first of which was right outside Trinity College, called Hajus Vegas. I love Hajus Vegas. I really want to go back. It's very nice. So I bought 3 books there. The first one was actually on my TBR. All the other ones that I bought, I had no idea about, but I picked them up anyway. I learned that Ireland is not a fan of hardcovers.
More books.
Oh, more books!
Sorry, I'm like...
Thanks!
You're welcome.
Look, it's more books!
She's filming. I'll give her some books.
Books! Thanks, Mommy! Just FYI, I did not pay any money for those books. I got them with a gift card. I don't know why I feel I have to justify myself about buying books, but no money was actually spent. Was I? Hajus Vegas, right. So the book that was actually on my TBR was The Binding by Bridget Collins. So The Binding deals with a magical bookbinder who basically can bind memories into books. And that's all I know about it, and I'm very excited to read it in the next 5 years, as it's obviously going to sit on my shelf. I will read you, I promise. The Binding. And then I picked up a book that I had heard about, but I don't think it was officially on my TBR. The Book of Lost Things by John Connolly. It's very shiny. And this deals with a boy who has just lost his mother and finds all these books in the attic that he now kind of delves into because his mother loved them, and he kind of takes refuge in those books. And that's all I'm going to say about it. And the final book that I got was in the Irish authors section, because I wanted to buy a lot of Irish author books. But whenever I looked in those sections, it was all books on the history of Ireland or on Irish fables, and I already have a few of those books, so I wanted just an Irish author with their own book, not necessarily about Ireland. So the book I picked out was The Wonder by Emma Donoghue. This one involves with a nurse, I think, who, is it a nurse? Yes, a nurse. And is told about a girl who hasn't eaten for months, but is still perfectly fine. And so she's the wonder. And she's gonna go see if it's a hoax, if it's real, what's going on, but mystery. After Hajus Vegas, I went over to Debray Books, and I picked up another book that wasn't officially on my TBR, but I had seen it and was curious about it because also cover art, and that is The Familiars by Stacey Hall. Again, shiny book. Kind of hard to put in the light. The Familiars deals with witchcraft, so this goes on my witchy shelf because I love witchy books and I can't help it. That's all I'm gonna say about it, actually. It's a witchy book. Ooh. You guys see a pattern yet? Do you see a pattern? Then I went to a store called Isan, but it's a chain store because they were everywhere. And I thought, here's where I'm gonna find a lot of my mainstream books, but I didn't really. Instead, I found Under a Dancing Star by Laura Wood. Again, I keep buying all the shiny books. That's not the pattern I was talking about, but I guess it is one. This is almost a period piece, but the period's 1930s England. And it's kind of one of those books where it's a girl who takes a bohemian journey to avoid being married off, and that's what I'm here for. 2 more left. Can I do it with my battery? Probably not. Then I went to this secret book and record store, which is a little hole-in-the-wall used bookstore, and it was very cute. It reminded me of Black and Red here. And I found The Wolves of Willoughby Chase by Joan Aiken. I'm sorry, it's so shiny and it's white, so it's not good against the light. I don't actually know a whole lot about this book, but I got this book for like €3, so I was like, yoink. And it has wolves on the cover, so I'm gonna do that. That's just who I am. This book deals with werewolves and a mystery governess, who I think might be the werewolf, but I'm not sure because I haven't read it yet. And the final bookstore that I went to was called Books Upstairs, which is a misnomer because the books were not upstairs. The books were on the ground floor or the basement floor, which I guess is ground floor and then basement floor. Yeah, that's right. That's how they do it. And then upstairs was a cafe. So Books Upstairs, your name is wrong. But it didn't stop me from buying a book there. I bought A Skinful of Shadows by Frances Hardinge? I'm not sure. Look at the cover. See the pattern now, guys? And the little tagline of this is a story of a bare-hearted girl. It's about a girl who gets kind of possessed by the spirit of a bear. And I really don't know how else to explain it. I'm assuming this is going to be a lot of magical realism or something going on, but I'm here for it and I'm ready. Yes, I do think one of the owls on the cover is David Bowie, possibly both. So I don't know, we'll see. And those are the books that I bought in Ireland. Yay! Yes, I lugged 12 books back with me on top of the 3 that I brought with me. Why? Because I'm worth it. I have to go now. If you have questions or comments, leave them down below or on Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter, and I'll see you next time, cuties. Bye!